All right. Peace, family. It's Brother Rich. I'm with the young God tonight, man. With the young God representing the Nation of Islam, Brother Ben X. Welcome back to the platform, my brother.
Man, peace, man. I appreciate you for bringing me back to the platform. And as always, man, thank you for what you do in the community, bringing people knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. I'm glad to be back.
Indeed, man. It's just so good. And shout out to everybody filling. I'm gonna allow everybody to fill in the chat before we get into the questions. Before I get into these ads, I just want to say, Brother Ben, it's good seeing your growth, my brother. From even the first time, I remember when you came to my house, and it was you, Reza, and 19 Keys, and you got the award from Sarnetta. Just seeing, seeing you from there to here, my brother. It's beautiful seeing that in a young black man. So, just congratulations on all the growth, my brother.
Indeed. Thank you.
Let's get to a few ads before we get started with this magnificent interview. I want to give a quick shout out to some businesses that I think all of us need to be out there supporting. Shout out to Crystal Corner LLC. You can go to their website, crystalcorner.bigcartel.com. They got the EMF blocker technology. We all talking about 5G. They do readings. They got the ancestor money. Make sure y'all get at those folks. Of course, me and Blue Pill got the 7-day Kundalini Virtual Workshop starting September 11th. And this is going to be one of a kind. It's also featuring instructional videos from Brother Panic, Dr. Phil Valentine, Billy Carson, and many others. To purchase tickets, the website is on the screen, or you can contact me and my number's on the screen as well if you have additional questions. Of course, if you are into numerology and you want information on that, King Simon is one of the best people out there to get a consultation with, whether it's business, whether it's finances, whether it's relationships, whether it's health. This is the man to talk to. Make sure you contact that brother. Spiritually Lit Candles is absolutely amazing. It's just an amazing idea that they put together. Black businesses are being so innovative at this point, and I've never seen a color change in chakra candle like this before. So make sure y'all get at them. If you have joint problems, make sure you go to riversideTaichi.com. They have the joint balance formula, and they also have a sale going on right now. For those who are interested in the Magic Money book, it is absolutely it's changing people's worlds right now. It's an out of print book. You can cash at me if you want to get it. $ Black Magic 363. The fee is $10. Just make sure you leave your email along with the cash app, and I will send it over to you. But it's dealing with spiritual ways, and it's dealing with money and its spiritual principles, not just in a materialistic way. Of course, at Oscar New York, Copper Child Mike, he got the best crowns or hats in the game. He got the jewels on them. He got it's just off the hook, man. If you want your clothing to represent how you feel in a high frequency, make sure you go to his website, and it's right on the screen. With that being said, man, we're going to get to the show. Let me see what's going on in the chat real quick, Ben. You all right, my brother?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me see what the people doing in the chat room real quick. All right, shout out to everybody in the chat. Yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. Cosmic Goddess, the Light Bringer, Spark Divine. All right, Brother Ben, we're not going to be on here too long today. I just definitely want to touch base with you. Let's start out with the minister. The minister, man, has been the topic of conversation in 2020. I mean, you hear him. When did he get banned from social media? That was last year, right?
Yeah, it was either last year or 2 years ago. His profile got banned from social media.
Right. So this year, due to the corona and everything, the world was watching his Criterion message, and we've seen several celebrities there. We've seen one of them being Nick Cannon, and we all appreciated the brother's message, but as always, he got painted as an anti-Semite, and the media is constantly attacking him. But one thing we seen this year was brother show him love. We see Allen Iverson, we see Nick Cannon, we seen Ice Cube, we seen Diddy show love, and then out of nowhere, we seen his video get taken down from the Criterion got taken down from the YouTube page. It's not up there no more. We seen what happened to Nick Cannon. We seen Allen Iverson kind of switch up on his original stance with the minister, and we're just wondering what do you think the Nation of Islam is going to do in the future as it pertains to entertainers? Do y'all think y'all could trust the entertainer when they get close to the minister? Do y'all think that the entertainers are just using it as a photo op? I mean, what's the how y'all moving forward with this? Because it's looking kind of weird.
As far as I'm concerned, I've heard Brother Supreme say one time that their reality is not our reality. Of course, we will want them to respond certain ways. We'll want them to be more bolder than they are, but we are not in that position that they are in to completely judge them, because many of them are just now waking up to the truth, or still striving to find the truth, and they're finding things that they're finding themselves in. They're gaining pride. They're getting knowledge itself, and some of them can go off too soon, and their reality just simply isn't our reality. It's not necessarily, I don't think they're trying to use the minister's image. Some may, but it's not necessarily about keeping them away from the minister, because the minister's job is to teach our people. The minister's job is to teach the savage, not beat the savage, as you probably heard them say back in the day. So even in scripture, for those who look into the scripture, Jesus sat with the sinners. Many people was asking, why is he sit with the sinners? Well, if he's the doctor, why not sit with those who are sick? And then when you think about it, we always talk about rappers having influence, and they do have major influence. In fact, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said one rap song is worth more than 100 or 1,000 sermons. And so when you think about that, these rappers have millions of followers. They have millions of views. Brother Nick Cannon, before that situation, he had just posted a message to the black man in America about a week or two before that. I'm pretty sure many people was inspired to go read that. So whether they, end up turning on the minister or not, I heard the minister when he was responding to Brother Keith Ellison, and he was saying, don't go bash him, because you don't know, who you are until you've been tried. You got people right now who not necessarily a celebrity who support the minister. You don't have to agree with everything that we teach or everything that the minister has done, but you notice even our people who are so-called conscious or so-called woke, and they always going after the celebrities, they always have to give a disclaimer. Well, I don't agree with everything with the minister, but I love what he said right there. Well, I ain't in the nation, but what's the disclaimer for? Who is it for? Is it for your boss? Is it for somebody who you afraid gonna question you? When we speak about any white guy or you speak about anything else, you don't say, well, I'm not one of them, but I agree. You don't agree with everything that your mom said. You don't agree with everything that your father says. So I think as far as they're concerned, it doesn't matter what their intentions is. The minister's intention is to teach our people, no matter what condition they're in, because who are we to judge when some of us are in that same condition? Yeah, we can say that they should be free and all this different stuff like that. But hell, some of us been woke for a long time. You've been knowing about Marcus Garvey, Noble Drew Ali. You've been knowing about all the great leaders, and you still working on the white man job. You haven't totally separated. So I think that we should just continue to learn from them. This is how I think. I think we should just continue to learn from those situations. And what I learned from that situation is, yeah, you can have a lot of money, but you can't have strings attached. And just because somebody has more money than you does not mean that they're more free than you. So as the minister says, when you see men fall, don't laugh, learn. So I'm learning from that situation. I'm making sure that I keep my as much ownership as possible so that I'm able to stand on truth and believe what I want to believe and not worry about what anybody has to say.
Indeed. What do you think about that rabbi that was on Nick Cannon's podcast? Did you got a
Honestly,
chance to look at it?
yeah, I haven't watched the whole complete thing yet, but he lied on the minister. He came with that same weak thing about Hitler, when the minister said Hitler was a great man, and the minister was only saying not that he was great morally, because good doesn't necessarily, or great doesn't necessarily mean good morally. You hear about the great mystery of Babylon, but it doesn't mean that it was good morally. So what the minister was saying, the same way he was able to raise Germany up, well, hey, well, that's how I'm raising my people up. Then he continued and said, don't compare me to your wicked killers. So if you look at the whole minister's message, which oftentimes whenever anybody's coming out the minister, unfortunately, black people included, when they're coming out the minister, they give you a little sound bite. So then he came with that. Then he came with the anti-termite. The minister was not calling them was not calling them termites. He was speaking specifically about the 10%. which is in our lessons. The bloodsuckers of the poor who want you to think and be praying and be waiting for a mystery God, while the 85% are poison animal eaters. Just shoot, they believing in the mystery God and they don't understand cause and effect. So he's talking about a specific group, which is why he always points out, I'm here to separate the good Jews from the bad Jews. Of course, they are the so-called Jews. He calls them the imposters. We are the real children of Israel, according to the scripture. We are the real chosen people. But when he's speaking about that, or I look at the Abraham, they're bringing up the same points that they did back in the day. And the reason I know that it's almost like a propaganda campaign, because the minister has explained this over and over again. I could see, even though I really can't see, but I could see if you back in the day and you still misinterpreting him. But the minister got countless interviews. He got countless lectures explaining what he meant about the Hitler comment, explaining what he meant about the anti-Semite, explaining what he mean about when he's going after the Jews and he's only talking about the wickedness that has been done against us. And they still continue to spread these lies. Brother Dimitri said this is what you call ritual defamation, meaning that they're going to put you out there, especially if you're getting close to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, or has as they have done the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. They'll slander you. They'll call you a hate teacher. They'll call you anti-Semitic. They'll call you a bigot. But one thing they won't do is they won't deal with the truth about the statement, because if you try to deal with the truth about the statement, you may find out that the man is actually right. And that's not what they want to do. So they want to be able to control the media. They want to be able to control the narrative. So anybody who has any criticism against them, not saying I'm about to kill them, not saying I want them to die, not saying I want them to catch coronavirus, just saying simply, hey man, this what you're doing right here, what you did right here was wicked. This what you did right here is wrong. And anytime somebody comes out and critiques them, they just put them on the ADL list, man. So I think what Abraham Cooper did was the same thing that all of the other ones do: repeat the same lies about the minister to keep everybody else from away from him.
Do you think the Nation of Islam is color struck in terms of they want their men and women that represent them to have a certain hue? They want their hair to look a certain way. I remember a couple of brothers was sharing an Instagram post about Farrakhan talking about um, us being cursed, and that's the reason why our hair looks the way it looks, or something like that. I didn't investigate or look too deep into it, but I remember this is probably like a year or something ago, and they were talking about, and for years I heard about the nation would never have a representative that was a dark skinned brother, or they want a certain look. They don't want locks or nothing like that. You got to be clean cut, shape up, wavy, light skin type of dude. What you think about that? People, saying that.
Well, I know at a time, back when Brother Leo Muhammad, he went viral a lot of times. That's a dark skinned brother. The brother that I came up under, who brought me into the nation, is a dark skinned brother. Our regional minister, Brother Abdul Halim, is a dark skinned brother. The brother that's out of London is a dark skinned brother. I think that just, how it happened. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's work speak for itself. You can compare him to a dark skinned brother. You can compare him to a white brother, whatever you want to do. His work speaks for itself. So I don't think he got to the position that he's in because he's light skinned. I think Dr. Wesley Muhammad, if you're talking about him, I think his work speaks for itself. He is a scholar who has continued to speak truth and bring scholarship that has raised the people. I think if you're talking about Brother Neri, his work speaks for itself. He has done countless lectures. He has done many things in the community. Brother Ishmael, he's the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's son. So or brother Mustafa, Captain Mustafa, he's been with the minister since he was young. So I think these are just people who happen to put in the work. So I don't think it has anything to do with you. I've been in the nation going on 6 years now. Nobody ever told me, Brother Ben, you can't get on YouTube and go viral because you don't look as light as anybody else. We are a military, so we are clean cut. That is true about us being clean cut. But as far as you having to have a certain hair type, or you gotta have waves or anything like that, you got brothers who bald. Shoot, Muhammad Ali back in the day, he had the little afro, just a little mini afro. So I mean, you can do your thing. You can put the part on the left, you can put the part on the right. You don't have to get the part if you don't want the part. So I don't know anything about that specifically. I can see how it can be perceived as that. And as far as the curse thing, I think the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan was breaking down message to the black man. But also in that clip, which was also just clipped up in that same thing, he said that we should be proud of our broad nose and thick lips. I also put that on my YouTube channel in that same particular section. So I think what the minister was breaking down was something that was like 50,000 years ago, and he was explaining it. I don't, I mean, I haven't done any research on or history on it to, confirm what they look like. I haven't seen any pictures myself, but that's what he was doing. He was not saying that we should feel bad about ourselves because we have a broad nose or we have thick lips. He also have several articles in the final call where he talks about people try to push that narrative and make us feel cursed, which is why I always say, and I've also posted this lecture as well, where he says you're not black because you're cursed, you're black because you're first, and that we are a chosen
Okay.
people and we should be proud of who we are. And of course, I think the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has done a great job, probably better than anybody who pushes that narrative when it comes to getting the black man and woman to accept their own and accept who they are and accept how they are and how they look. In fact, there was a sister on my Instagram page and said because of the videos of the minister that I was putting on my Instagram, she once hated being black and she loves being black now. So I think the proof is in the pudding there.
Excellent. What do you think what do you think is going to happen to the nation once the minister leaves? Like he
Um,
makes the transition and he's not here no longer. What do you see happening to the nation?
I think the nation is going to continue to thrive. Um, I think you're gonna see the wheat and the tear scenario. You're gonna see those who was personality worshipers maybe fall off, and you're gonna see those who are truly in it for the real reason maybe increase, because just like the stars shine when the sun is gone, well, when he's no longer present among us, I believe there's gonna be stars that are already among us that you just don't know about that is going to eventually rise, who've been studying, who's been putting in the work, but just haven't got that notoriety as other people have. I think it's going to force us to fall more in love with ourselves, because now the nucleus is not the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. The nucleus is going to be the truth, which he's been trying to warn us for decades. I mean, I go back and I look at the 80s and the 70s, and he always says, "Don't worship me." So, you have that narrative coming on. As I was coming in, people try to say that he wants us to worship him, but he always says, and he actually gets angry and says, "Don't worship me because my body is finite. I have to go." Matter of fact, he just said that when he had the green crown on. He said, "I have to go." And he said, "I bet not catch y'all talking stupid saying, 'What are we going to do because the minister is gone?'" He says, "You sound like a disbeliever in God."
Mm.
Because see, if I am a finite being and my finite body is going to eventually go, what are you going to worship when I go? For 100% fact, no matter how powerful I am, no matter whatever knowledge I have to go. But there's an infinite or infinite wisdom that dwells within me. So if you can fall in love with the truth, if you can fall in love with the principles, if you can fall in love with the way that has been able to help black men and women all over the world raise, then I will still be here. So that actually goes to my point, to your first question, when you talked about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan being banned from social media. I don't know if you caught how I answered it, but I didn't say that he got banned from social media. I said his profile, yes, was deleted. Why did you say it like that? Because as long as I'm on social media, the minister is on social media, if you ask me. As long as Brother Reeves, the 19 Keys, Brother Nuri, Brother Wesley, anybody who still takes that message and using it and getting results and being effective, the minister still is on social media. So just like when you read the scripture for those who are Christians, when they say, "I've been among you all this time and you ain't seen the Father," I feel like that's what we're going to have to do now. Yeah, the minister not physically among us, but then the Quran also talks about, "Speak not against those who are slain in the way of Allah. They are not dead." To me, that just simply means that he can live within me. His mind can live within me. His message can live within me. So as long as I'm bold enough and I have the courage to speak what he spoke, teach what he taught, and be effective as he was, as far as I'm concerned, he still will be among us.
Now you a young brother. What made you want to join the Nation of Islam?
Man, for me, it was the work that I saw putting in, man, and the way that a lot of questions that I had about scripture was able to be made plain for me in a way that I could understand it. The minister said one time, if I took a picture of this whole room and I showed it to you, who's the first person you're gonna look for? The first person you're going to look for typically probably is going to be yourself. It doesn't mean that you're vanity. It just means, hey, I want to check myself out. He says, well, the reason you're not interested in the education, the reason our children aren't interested in the education is because they don't see themselves in the picture of life. But when I came into the nation, I saw myself in the picture of life. I saw that, hold on, you telling me that I'm a God? You telling me that, hold on, there's something I'm not, there's not something in the sky, a big man in the sky telling me I'm going to be poor or I'm going to be rich, that God simply means force and power, and that I have force and power on the inside to change my life? You mean to tell me when they talk about being it is, this is not abracadabra? That means be. I have a thought in my mind and I have the capability and it's possible for me to will things into existence with my own power, with my own forces. Well, shoot, man, I agree with that. Then the brother that brought me in had his own school. And that was the first job that I had. So just to backtrack a little bit, I was an All-American basketball player in college. I was thinking I was going to go to the league or go overseas. But when I was transferring over to my D1, that's when I got in contact with the teachings, and I found myself falling more in love with teaching and falling in love with this particular teaching than it was basketball. Plus, because some things was going on where I was supposed to be on scholarship, but some things was going wrong there. Then I heard the minister say debt is slavery. And I'm like, man, if this thing is going wrong with basketball here, I'm not really satisfied. And I'm going here and I'm not really learning anything. I'm finna drop out. So at this point, my parents is dissatisfied because number one, I'm finna drop out of college. I'm early 20s. I'm finna drop out of college and I'm finna join the Nation of Islam. And I'm finna quit basketball because they have invested all this time. I'm talking about I'm traveling to AAU games. They buying me bags. They buying me shoes. So now I'm in the valley of decision now. I'm like, man, am I finna let my whole family down who been invested in me, who been traveling with me, who been sacrificing coming to my games? Am I finna sacrifice all of the work that I've been putting in to play basketball? I was balling his life, going to the gym every day for this. So it was a hard decision, man. And then I had a brother that came, Brother Malik Muhammad. That's who fished me in because he came to speak in my school about the role of the male and the female, talking about the man being the provider, talking about how when the man is not the provider and he's forcing his woman to go get 50% of the rent when they got children, you got your woman out and then you out 8 hours a day. When y'all come home, y'all both tired. This is the same thing what happened in slavery. They take the father, they take the mother, and then now they can raise the son up and the daughter up how they want them to. So then the same white man that we're saying that we're against, the same white man that we protest, we send them to the system every day. And they with them for 7 hours a week. 7 hours a day. So he made a good point. He said, listen, brother, you may be able to tell your children, don't sag, don't cuss, don't do this, don't do that. But when they at a school for 7, 8 hours a day being influenced by somebody else who don't have the same morals as you can't get mad because the son begins to drift off. So I said, man, that's some deep stuff. And he had his own business and had his own school. So he told me, he said, brother, this is the consequences if you drop out of college. He just kept it real with me. This is the consequences if you stay. But this what really made it like he was like a father figure to me. He said, either way, anything that you do, brother, I'm gonna support you. I said, see, that's what I need right there. So when I dropped out of college, I ended up doing it. I worked for his school and I seen the brothers going door to door. I'm talking about not judging the brother because he got tattoos, not judging the brother because his pants sagging, not judging the brother because he used to be a murderer, not judging the brother because of his past. They saying this is who we're going to go after. And how I think about it is like a vacuum. If I got a vacuum and I come over your house and your house is clean, and I say, man, I'm finna hover over this thing and it costs $19.99, brother Rich, would you buy it from me? You probably gonna say, I ain't really interested in it because your house is already clean. But if I come and I put some mud on there, I put some Kool-Aid on there, I let the children go mess the thing up and then I hover over it and I clean it up. You can say, oh man, that thing is effective. So for me, I said, man, they not judgmental. Man, they giving me the reality of God, showing me that I am a God and I'm not depending on anything spooky outside of myself to do everything for me. They not just teaching, just pray about it. Then one of the people that really influenced me, man, was Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, because I was an athlete and because he got a personality. And I like to say I got a personality as well. I'm a little funny on social media as well. But he stood on truth when he was in the nation. He stood on truth. He was funny with him. He still did interviews and all that, but he was like, man, he still stood on truth. So I like that. And then when I started to watch the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan lectures in full, see, that's why a lot of things don't really get to me now, because, you know, they be showing clips. But when I was young, I used to watch, I still watch the minister lectures in full. That's why my old YouTube channel that got terminated, I used to have a bunch of clips up, because I knew the average person not gonna watch his full lecture. They ain't got time. You know, the minister can speak 4 hours. He can go 5 probably if they let him. So I used to chop them up. So as I was chopping the videos up, putting them out on YouTube, I was learning at the same time, because I got to listen to it to edit it. And so once it began to change my life, I'm talking about I quit my job because of that. And I've been going on 6 years now doing for self. There's a lot of decisions that I made because of the nation, and I saw it change my life. And then it began to change people who was once against it life. And so once I started to put the teachings out there, this is before I joined, so I'm still answering the question. I'm still putting it out there, and people saying, brother, because of your content, I decided not to commit suicide. Because of your content, I got back with the wife, and I'm the sole provider now, and we got a happy family now, whatever the case may be. Because of your content, man, I feel I'm proud to be Black. All this stuff began to happen just off me sharing the teachings. You know, this time I'm still learning, but I'm just sharing what I'm learning. So I said, man, this is powerful. And I'm seeing a bunch of Black men and women who are making a conscious decision that I want to go out and help our people. So when I see them being mocked on the street, or you see them being mocked door to door, if you knew what they used to do, you would have more appreciation for the brothers with the Final Call newspaper. You'll have more appreciation for the brothers that's going door to door. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the things that I had to overcome, because I'm honestly an introvert. You probably can't tell because of the videos, but in person I am. That's one of the things I had to get over, actually going and introducing myself, knocking on a door. I mean, that takes real love and something to be able to knock on a door, to offer a brother a newspaper, not just a newspaper, but something that has truth in it. We ain't trying to convince you to join the nation. You join the nation, that's on you, man. But I'm not finna stop coming to your door to offer you truth and have a good conversation with you because you haven't joined. So to see the brothers having doors slammed in their face because I'm trying to bring you something good, to see the brothers being cussed out, having guns pointed to their head because I'm just trying to offer you something that has something good in it for you. I said, man, this is what I need to be in. And so I joined, man, and it's been up ever since.
Indeed. You know, when I go to a lot of
I'm sorry, my bad. Go ahead. I had turned you down.
yeah, when I go to a lot of lectures, and you know, I've been filming lectures for years, I often notice a lot of brothers and sisters, you know, we don't have families no more. You know, the brothers are single. I notice the sisters are single. I wonder, you know, is that the same way in the nation, or is it different? Like when you go to these meetings in the Nation of Islam, or whatever you go to with them, and there's group gatherings, are there a lot of single people within the Nation of Islam, or is it organized where pretty much everybody finds a way to find a mate within the Nation of Islam?
That's a great question. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said a nation is built up on families. In fact, so much so he says divorce is I forgot how he put it, man, but it's like it's a threat to the security of the nation. So he pushes family. And he pushed his family so much that in Save His days, we have single retreats. Meaning the brothers, if you single, you got a tag on that says single.
Woo.
Sister got a tag on that says single, and you got a singles retreat where y'all can get with each other in court, not date, but court properly to figure out who is this person. Here is my vision. Here is my plan. What's your vision? What's your plan? Are you willing to be a helpmeet for me? So the minister and the nation pushes family because we know that's the only way for us to truly build. If I'm smart, what good is it for me to be smart if I can't pass anything down? The minister said we are not good leaders until we are able to produce something or produce something in somebody to where they can take up the mantle and go forward with it. He says when you disrespect a man, you're disrespecting an individual. But when you disrespect a woman, you're disrespecting a nation, because through her womb, which is God's workshop, through her womb, she's going to give birth to a nation. So we are taught, man, hey, man, get married. What you waiting on? You know what I'm saying? Don't be running, because if you ain't married, brother, I mean, shoot, we ain't no fool. You're doing something. If you ain't gonna just be celibate all this whole time, so you might as well settle down with somebody, man, and try to produce a family that can take things forward. So in the Nation of Islam, of course, there's a lot of single people because people are always joining, and you know, people not just trying to really rush into marriage at the same time, but it is pushed. I don't know if you, I'm pretty sure you do know about Brother Nuri, but that's one of the main things that he touches on very good. Brother Neri always touches on and teaches on Black love and the benefits of it.
Within the Nation of Islam, do you see, do people marry outside of the nation, like some of the sisters with Christian men or some of the brothers with Christian women?
You know, in the nation, man, there's still no compulsion in religion. So, you know, we are encouraged to marry MGT. The MGT are encouraged to marry a FOI, but I mean, you're not gonna get, you know, necessarily kicked out because you fell in love with somebody else. I mean, that happens. You can't control love. You just encouraged to marry someone who has the same faith so that you guys can be equally yoked, so that you guys don't have that friction in the home because she want to celebrate Christmas, but you don't even celebrate Christmas. She want to do the Easter egg hunt. You like how the rabbit lay eggs. So I ain't trying to do no Easter egg. So you don't want to go through all that. One celebrate birthdays, the other one don't celebrate birthdays. So we are encouraged to marry those who have the same mission. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that woman should not just be committed to you, but committed to the mission that you're committed to as well, because that's how she's going to be able to be a proper helpmeet for you. So yeah, there are some who marry outside. There are some who marry Christians or whatever the case may be. But that's because it's, I mean, you're not forced to do it. We're just encouraged to marry within.
What do you think? You talked about passing knowledge and wisdom down the bloodline. Why do you think that a lot of our great speakers, orators, leaders, when they have children, their children don't represent their legacy like I think they should? If you look at some of Muhammad Ali's children, they're not, you know, as vocal, or they're not on it like how he was on it. If you look at some people would say Elijah Muhammad's son. Some people would say Farrakhan's son. They're not on it like that. Why do you think the children end up not being as militant or as revolutionary when they come from revolutionary parents?
It actually goes back to your previous question, family. The minister teaches us that you know, he was on the road, man. He was building up a nation, sacrificing honestly his family. He says, I don't want y'all to do that. Going around building up, doing all these things, and then, you know, your family doesn't see you that often. He says sometimes the preacher children come out the worst because you're preaching about this God and you're preaching about this Jesus. And what happens is the children naturally wants to see the Father. The children naturally wants to know and be able to be in reach of the Father. And because you're gone, they begin to hate that which keeps you gone.
Whew. I know he's okay. Okay.
I don't, you know, so you talk about this God and you talk about this, but this is what's keeping my Father away. So there can be some rebellion that happens. And also, you know, at the end of the day, man, children gonna be children. All we can do, man, is be a good example. The minister said to train means to be a good example. Just be an example. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you never had to condemn a dirty glass, just put a clean one next to it. That's one of my favorite quotes. So sometimes you can do the best that you could do, but at the end of the day, the son may turn, the child may turn. And sometimes that is necessary. A lot of people that I saw born into the nation, I interviewed them really so I can understand the psychology. Think about it like this. You probably heard the opposites attract, right? Well,
Yes.
for me, I wasn't born in the nation. So everything that I just told you about, man, it wasn't spooky. Man, it was talking about God being within. Man, it made me relate. Oh, that's because I didn't grow up with it. So that was attractive to me. So naturally, a man is going to be attracted to a woman. I'm talking about natural. I'm not talking about what's going on today. Naturally, a man is going to be attracted to a woman. So when you born into the nation and you grow up hearing I'm a God, you grow up hearing you got laws. You grow up hearing I got morals. You grow up hearing this is how things supposed to go. Well, shoot, as I'm growing up, I'm looking over there like, man, that looked fun to me. So I want to get a test of that. I want to get a taste of that. So I came up in my mind, I'm not saying this is scientifically true, but the same way we say opposites attract for positive things, I think it may be the same if you're born into something that's supposed to be good. You may be attracted to the world because I need to see what this is about. But what happens is, I think it's a good thing. This is why. If the person can really, if they raised up, kind of the right way, not to say that if they don't do it, they wasn't raised the right way, but when they go astray and they see what was in the world and they see it ain't really nothing out here, I think it makes them value what they always had. And a person who goes out and then comes back in, kind of like the prodigal son, I think they value it a lot more. And so the minister also says, when you have a father that's great and you kind of got to be in his shadow and people are expecting you to be a certain way, it could cause you to be rebellious. Well, I ain't going, well, I'm going to go all the way astray. And we don't know what's going through that person's mind. The minister even said that, since you mentioned his children, he said, don't judge my children. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know what they've seen. You don't know, when people want to harm their father or harm them because of who I am. You don't know what they're going through psychologically. So it's easy to say, well, since he's this great, well, they should be this great. Well, because they did that. Life just don't work that way. Because honestly, all of us didn't have bad parents. And some of us grew up and we know we all done did something that we not proud of and we don't post. See, it's easy to talk about somebody else whose family life is in the open. But what about you? What about the stuff that you don't post on social media? What about the problems your family have when you've been trying to be a good father? And so people become, judgmental sometimes. We don't understand what's going on in that child's mind and why. So for me, man, I just think that it's because of what the minister says. Sometimes when you get busy building a nation, it could be taxing on the children because the children wants to see their father or have their father in a certain way. And because of the mission that he's accepted, sometimes it just doesn't turn out that way.
Man, you know what hurt me, man, when I was younger to see, and I don't know if you remember, because you're younger than me, I don't know if you remember when Farrakhan suspended Dr. Khalid Muhammad. Now, if you know Khalid Muhammad, man, that was one, that brother there, you talk about an uncompromising, unapologetic, a strong brother. When that brother got up there and he was on that, he gave it to them. I mean, he gave it to them. I haven't seen many brothers like Khalid Muhammad. And it's funny that we're mad at Nick for apologizing, Nick Cannon, but from what I understand, Farrakhan suspended Khalid Muhammad for making remarks about Jews, what he called, I think he called mean-spirited or repugnant or something like that. To the point where I don't even think Farrakhan came to Khalid Muhammad's funeral. And this brother used to protect Farrakhan with a shotgun. And Farrakhan didn't even go to the brother's funeral. That was fucked up to me. When I was young, I'm like, damn. And I remember talking to Sarnett about it, like, damn, I remember there was tape circulating on the street, Dr. Khalid Muhammad versus Farrakhan, and I was watching, and I'd be like, damn, this is sad, man. This is 2 billion brothers, but what's your thoughts on, Farrakhan not even coming to the brother's funeral and also suspending Khalid Muhammad for remarks he made about the Jews?
I don't know about the funeral situation. I don't even know if I was born at that time. So that would be something you would have to get directly from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on that, because I don't know what was going on or what their relationship was like. However, when it comes to why he was suspended, from my understanding, he was not suspended because of the truth that he spoke about the Jews, because he was asked actually about this during an interview with Barbara Walters at his home. And he says, no, I agree with the truth of what he's saying, but the mockery and the overextending, which in the interview I heard Khaled talk about how he agreed to that. And if you agree to something and you're going to talk in a certain manner and you go against it, it's not on Brother Ben X to judge who was right or wrong. If you sign a contract, or not necessarily a contract, but if you agree to something and you get up and you do something that you know was probably going to get you in trouble or whatever the case may be, it is what it is. That's what that is. So I don't think the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, from the videos that I've actually seen of him explaining this question or this answer himself, was not because of the truth that he spoke, but because of the representation of how he was saying it, didn't reflect on the Nation of Islam.
You know, in Hollywood, you know, they say that the actors or the entertainers, you know, they can say but so much before their handlers come out there and tell them, hey, cut it out now. Do you ever feel that it could turn that way? It could be that way in an organization in the Nation of Islam where, hey, Brother Ben X may want to say something, but it's the same thing in Hollywood where the top people in the nation is like, Brother Ben, you got to watch your mouth. Does that ever scare you about being in an organization?
No, because everything that I want to say, I think is in line with the teachings. Going back to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in 1974, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said himself, he didn't give us knowledge to mock them. This is from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So you can come out against the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and say what you want to say, but if you're truly followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, go back and look at 1974 where he said, I didn't give you this knowledge to mock. So for me, I don't feel that way because I don't have anything to say outside that's going to be just crazy. I just want to speak the truth and give it to you like that in a manner that we was taught to do it. And if I ever decide that I want to do something outside of the nation, I just leave the nation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If I have a certain language that I want to change to, if I have a certain way that I want to change to, I just leave. So it's not on the any organization, where if it's the nation, the Black Panthers, who it is. If you know what it is, and you know this before you even got into it, and you've been in it a long time, and then you want to do something outside of that, then leave. Don't try to blame it as if they supposed to change for them. If I'm on a basketball team and I say, man, I don't want to run no plays. I just want to do me because I'm a basketball player, so I'm gonna use basketball. I just want to do me. I ain't trying to run no plays. I'm not trying to run no pick and roll. I just want to hoop. Well, if that's how I want to play, I need to go to another team. I can't get mad at the coach because he says, hey, you already knew what the play was. We've been going through this practice the whole time. I can't get mad at the coach for saying that. I'm gonna just go to another team. So that's how I see it. If I ever get to a point to where I gotta say, I really want to say something and I know it's gonna go crazy against the nation, and I just have a whole different feeling, why am I still in the nation then?
Indeed. Let's get into I'm very, like I said, I'm very proud of the work you're doing out there on social media. And you out there doing your thing, and you got something called digital real estate, and you're teaching people. When we look at the internet, we see a lot of our people wasting their time, wasting their life, looking at memes all day, or just looking at entertainment, or just looking at celebrities all day. But you're actually teaching the people about digital, what you call digital real estate. Could you explain that, my brother?
Yeah, man, digital real estate, man. I show people how to make money online and become financially free by building up digital assets, digital products, digital services that actually cash flows more than physical real estate. Typically, you may hear growing up that all millionaires have physical real estate, and that's cool. We are taught in a nation that you have 57,255,000 square miles of land. So, you know, when you get a piece of land like Monopoly, that's what makes it valuable.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
that's what's gonna make it valuable because I got this land and you can't print off no more homes. You can't print off no more land. So the reason that the dollar is not really backed by anything and it's really worth it. And the only reason it's worth something now because we believe it, because the Federal Reserve is printing it off every day. They print off that money every day. They just print out them cash. So it's not really worth anything. So that's what makes physical real estate valuable. However, a lot of people are borrowing from the bank. So you're borrowing from the bank to get a home so you can so you put down 10% and you try to go get the other money from the bank. And then so if your mortgage is 800, you're going to charge maybe 1,300 so you can get something on the top. But what I teach my students is, hey, you have intellectual property. A video is a property. So when you look at the land, when you buy land in certain cities or a lot of states, you still got to pay land taxes. If you buy a home all the way, you still got to pay property taxes. So the same thing is with Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. If I get paid off Facebook, Facebook still gonna get their cut. That's the land taxes. YouTube still gonna get their cut when you get your check every month from YouTube, Brother Rich. That's that land taxes. So the same way I'm building a home, they say, hey, you need to get a fourplex. If you got a fourplex, you can rent out the other three to pay your rent. Well, I'm showing you how you can have 2,000 homes online. What you mean by that, Brother Ben? Well, check this out. If you want a home to be more valuable, you increase the value, right? Well, if you want your video to be more valuable, make more money, make more cash flow, then it needs to be more valuable. You need to put a little bit more in it. It needs to be valuable. So in my class, I teach my students something very simple. And honestly, it could change the paradigm of your income and your life if you really inhale what I'm about to say. I don't teach my students to focus on passive income. Yes, you get that, you learn that. But when they get into my class, I say, do not focus on passive income. Focus on passive impact, because the more people you impact, the more income will come. So let me give you an example. When I went to, when I had my jobs, right? I worked at a warehouse job. I got paid $12 an hour. In my mind, this is what I calculated. 12 times 12 equals 144. So I'm always in my mind, I'm gonna make $144 a day. Not even that, because you know they got to take out taxes, right? So boom, you got 12 hours. I mean, $12 for 12 hours. That's not scalable. Why is that not scalable? Because there's only 24 hours in a day and there's only one brother Ben. I can only throw so many boxes on the truck and there's only 24 hours in a day. Even if I work from 12 to 12 or the whole 24 hours, that's as long as I can go. And you know, I'm not finna do that. I'm not finna be working that long. But with a product, with intellectual property, with an institute, with a service, I can take that same $12 and times it times 1,200. How you gonna do that? 1,200 people. What if I had an ebook that's $19? And with this ebook, I can sell it to 1,000 people. How much money did I just make in a weekend? 19,000. Because I'm not focused on passive income. I'm focused on passive impact, meaning I'm trying to impact as many people as possible with this product. I play basketball, so I got to give you another analogy. I'm gonna ask you the question. Who typically gets the ball the most on the basketball team?
Point guard.
Point guard. Who typically gonna get the most touches in the basketball game? On Michael Jordan team, on Kobe Bryant team, on LeBron James, on Allen Iverson team, who gonna get the ball the most?
I guess the shooting guard, right?
The superstar, the shooting guard and the superstar. Would you agree? The person who got the most skills, the person who the best on the team, right? We got to get LeBron the ball. We got to get Kobe, Allen Iverson, Jordan the ball. Well, just like currency flows. When I get money, I'm gonna give it to you. This is what group economics is. This is what he wanted us to do. You get some money, I spend it with my black brother. He gets some money, he spend it with a black brother. They get some money, they spend it with me. So when we all focus on self-improvement, which is the basis for community development, stop focusing on what everybody else not doing and start focusing on what I'm doing and let me be of value. When I spend money with you, you can back spend money with me. So the money is flowing. Back to my story. So just the same way that money flows, basketball on the basketball court, it flows. It may hit Robert Horry, but it's going to come back to Shaq. It's going to come back to Kobe. Why? Because Kobe Bryant and Shaq have the most skill and they have the most value, right? Now check this out, Brother Rich. You got people who not as valuable, not as skillful, but they work harder than the MVP. I'm talking about he diving for the ball. Oh man, he elbowing, he boxing out hard as he can. So what I'm saying is this, I may be working at the warehouse job. I'm working hard, but I'm not as valuable. That's why I'm getting paid like I am. I may be outworking somebody who's a CEO, who's a visionary, who's the property manager. The property manager ain't lifted one box, but the value of him, he's going to get paid more because he's more valuable, but I'm working harder. So on the basketball court, Brother Rich, when I played basketball, if I wanted to get more touches, I'm going to ask you, we're going to be interactive here. If I am on a team and I want to get more touches, what do I got to do?
You got to improve your skills.
I got to improve what? You hear what Brother Rich said? I ain't even have to say it. My skills. See, we right now are begging for jobs. We need jobs. Give me a job. No, you need a skill. If you got a skill and that skill can solve a problem, if this is significant value and it can solve a problem, you will forever be blessed. You will forever have income because I'm helping other people make money. I'm helping other people solve problems. So in a world right now, like COVID-19, everybody posting a problem. This is the perfect time for you to do for self because you can come in and you can solve a problem. So if I'm on a basketball team and I want to get more touches, I got to increase in skill and I got to increase in value, meaning that I got to go put some work in. Maybe you need to go study. Maybe you need to go take a course. Maybe you need to go take a class so that you can what? Increase in skill and value. So on the basketball court, the person who's the most skillful, the person who's the most valuable get the most touches. The person who is the most skillful and valuable in the world today, that's who gets the most money. So what I'm telling my people, tap into the God within. Stop chasing money. We're not chasing no more money. Forget all these rappers talking about chase the bag. Forget all these rappers talking about we finna go get the money. No, the money finna come get me. You ain't never seen no tree move anywhere. When it's time for you to eat, Brother Rich, when you tired of the GMO, you finna go to the trees. Land ain't never moved. Them land ain't gotta move. The land say, I'm valuable. Whenever you want some shade, the tree ain't coming to you. You coming to the tree. Why? Because the tree valuable. So what I tell them, chase the God within. Chase the gifts within. Chase the, like he said, the skills within, and the money gonna chase me because money is coming out the value. Money is a medium of exchange of value. The reason I got this microphone, because it was valuable. The reason I got these lights, because it was valuable. The reason I got this little MacBook right here, because it was valuable. If it was not valuable to me, I never would have got it. So if I can focus on being an asset for myself, so you want to go buy assets, go ahead, get your land if that's what you want to do. We should do that. Because starting and building a nation starts with getting that land. But I'm telling you, in the meantime, if you ain't got the money, if you don't want to borrow from the bank where they really owning it, because you got to pay them back, so make yourself an asset. And as long as I'm an asset, I'm going to bring in cash flow. And I've been able to help my students bring in more cash flow than they would borrowing $500,000 from the bank, having these multi-properties. They still bringing in more money than they would with these with the real estate that they have, because the typical real estate, they bringing in about $250 per door. We had a sister on my Instagram page. She just made $1,000 today. She's a mother of 4 and she works from home. She just made $1,000 today. My brother Jason King, who now we have hired onto our team, he's also an instructor and coach. He made $11,000 in 4 weeks in my course. We got a 15, he's 17. Brother bought a car for what we teaching to our course. And then think about it like this. I know what you're thinking. Well, Brother Ben, I ain't got that many followers like you. So how I'm going to do it? Number one, everybody that I just named don't have followers like me, but we just going to play the game because I know it's in your mind. If I am focused on giving value when it comes to health, I know you touch on health a lot, and I got my own product, and everybody that's following me is following me for health. If I got valuable videos on my page that you can learn from and you can take practical steps afterwards, what's going to happen is this. Okay, I only got 300 followers, Brother Ben. What should I do? Well, go find somebody who has your niche target audience of people that's already interested in health. You pay them whatever it costs. Don't try to shortchange them because they Black. Don't try to shortchange them because we supposed to be for the movement when you know you're going to get paid on the back end. Pay them what they worth. You're going to reach their 100,000 followers that they built up. You're going to reach their 200,000 followers that they built up. And let's do some mathematics here. Let's do some mathematics. If a brother got 300,000 followers and he has a niche audience page, meaning that he just posts about health, meaning that everybody who's following him is following him for what? Health. If he got 200,000 followers, and we just do 10%. Matter of fact, I'm going to do 5%. That's 10,000 people. 5% of 200,000 is 10,000. If you got a product or even a little ebook, man, a product, a physical product that you know is valuable, that you know is going to bring about passive impact, meaning this ain't no get rich quick scheme that I teach. So anybody who thinking that, oh, I'm just finna come in. No, you got to have something of value that you can bring to the people. Now, we show you how to make money, even if you ain't got no product or business, by making it off of somebody else's product. But we'll get into that once you get into the course. But if you had a product that was $27, Brother Rich, and you post, and just 5% of their followers bought from you, you're looking at 10,000 times 47. That's $470,000. You saying, Brother Ben, I don't know about that. Well, let's just do 1,000. Out of 200,000, only 1,000 of them bought your product. Remember, you got valuable videos already on your page, so they know you legit. If you do 1,000 people times, let's say your product $27. Within a week, you can make $27,000. All you did was be valuable. And then we show you in the class how to set up your website, set up everything to make sure everything automated. So that's just a little example of what it is. It's much deeper than that. We go into mindset, changing your subconscious mind, believing in yourself, knowing that you're worth getting that type of money. And so, yeah, and anybody who want to see the results, man, it's all on my Instagram page.
Man, listen, man, that's something that our people need to get involved with. That course you got, my brother. Tell them how they could get more information on that.
Man, you can get that information from digital4real.com. Digital, the number 4real.com. I see somebody in the comment section said, "What is real money?" The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, "Real money is gold and silver." That's that. You can't print off no gold and silver. But let me tell you my thoughts on that as well. Yes, we should save in gold and silver because it'll appreciate, because the dollar is falling in value, is devaluing. But let me tell you what I'm saying. If I'm an asset, Brother Rich, if you get Bitcoin, if you get cryptocurrency, if you get gold, if you get silver, if I'm an asset and you need something that I have, guess what you finna give me? That gold, that silver, that cryptocurrency, whatever you got. So yeah, you should save in that. But if you focus on being an asset, if you focus on passive impact, it don't matter what's going to happen in the economy. You finna give it to me anyway, because I'm going to make sure that I'm going to over deliver and make sure that what I need, what I have, it's a need for you. What I have is going to solve your problem to a level that you never even imagined. And that's what we strive to do in the digital real estate. And that's what we strive to help other people do. Stop focusing on money, man. Focus on how you can help somebody. And I know when you have a broke mindset, you thinking all about yourself. But honestly, the answer is to serve and help other people. And in doing that, you will be helping them while helping yourself at the same time. So go to digital, the number 4real.com, www.digital4real.com, and just tap into my Instagram. I already know, because I'm young, because I'm Black, it's just what it is. We ain't going to say it, but you're skeptical. Man, I don't know if this is going to be legit. So just continue to follow my Instagram page at Brother Ben X. Check out the testimonials. And there has been people, brother, that has made money off of the free game that I give. What I just told y'all right now, you can go make money if you know what you're doing. Yeah. There's people that has made money off my podcast that's for free. So imagine what's in the full program.
Let's take a question from the people before we get out of here. Once again, family, this is Brother Rich with Brother Ben X, man. Young brother from the Nation of Islam out here doing his thing. Give me a question for the brother family. I'm going to take a question from the people before we get out of here. Y'all make sure y'all sign up for that digital real estate course.
And if you can't afford that, we go live every Tuesday and Thursday in our ABS tribe, theabstribe.com. We literally do a business lesson every Tuesday and Thursday, and we invest in other people to come. We've paid over $1,000 to have teachers who specialize in what we don't to come into the class and teach. I mean, we got a variety of people inside of there. Billionaire PA, Derek Gray's 19 Keys, all kind of people, man. People that teach Facebook ads, 6 and 7 figure earners as well. They come in and teach as well. And that's only $50 a month. Theabstribe.com if you're not ready for the full program.
All right, I'm looking for some questions. I don't know. What do you think about this question? Ruth says, are they making fiat currency or real money? Get that a lot. People, when you talk about making money, they say, oh, that's fiat money. So what do you think about that question? You guys are making fiat money or are you making real money?
I mean, you making the same money everybody else making. Whoever you paying rent to, mortgage to, or whatever, wherever you eating at, wherever you driving at, I mean, they taking fiat money. You still need money to operate in America. You're using the internet. It's just common sense, man. The people who say that type of stuff, I'd be like, man, send me your money in your Cash App. People be like, money ain't important. What you need money for? I don't need. Well, send me all the money you got to my Cash App, man. I'll put it to use.
I'll take care of that. I'll take care of that problem for you.
You know what I'm saying? I'll put it to use. Like I said, man, he says save in real money because it's going to appreciate, but you still have to have a living, man. We still have to have common sense and wisdom to know that we got to operate in the world that we currently in.
What's your thoughts on
Oh, so let me answer this way. So use the fiat money to acquire an asset. Use the fiat money to acquire an asset or acquire something that is real money. That's what it can be used for.
Okay, brother Ben, let's get to another question. Messiah 1111 wants to know, what is the purpose of the Scientology connection with the Nation of Islam?
As the minister has said countless times, the connection is not necessarily a connection as in a merge, but it's just getting a teaching that he sees has helped with trauma within our people. You know, the minister says when you go to college, you don't say that that person has sold out to that college. You just take the truth of it and then you go. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, study the white man, study the operations of the white man. So we take whatever we can. You know, shoot, it ain't they knowledge. Shoot, honestly, a lot of stuff that they're doing, especially when it comes to mental, I think originated with us. They just take the names and they just take the science and they put a name on it. So as far as that, as the minister has said, it's just simply with Dianetics dealing because a lot of our people have been raped. A lot of our sisters have went through much trauma. And because of that, they ignore things and they go into the back of their minds. And once you do that, you think that you've gotten over the trauma. You think that you've gotten over these things. But unless you sit down and talk with somebody, it's not even anybody talking to you. It's simply you opening up and just talking about your story. When you do that, it helps you with the trauma and some of the things that you've been going through. So that's what it is. The minister found something that could possibly be helpful. And it's just another tool that we have in our repertoire.
Indeed. I forgot who asked it, but somebody wants to know about Farrakhan being a Freemason. And these questions you all addressed before, but I just wanted to get the people in the chat room an opportunity to ask some questions. But go ahead, brother.
What's a Freemason?
I guess they look at it as, you know, this secret society that's hiding knowledge. And I'm just talking about from a public's perspective, somebody who's hiding knowledge from Black people and who's working on the white man's behalf to keep the majority of us in a deaf, dumb, and blind state. I guess that's what they think of when they think of freedom.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I think the white man would be an idiot to pay the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to expose all that he's exposed over the years. I think the white man would be an idiot to be paying the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to teach us to separate. I think the white man would be an idiot to pay the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to tell us not to go to the wars. I think he would be an idiot to have the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan tell us not to take their vaccines. I think they would be, just crazy to have the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan telling us that if they won't treat you right, they sure won't teach you right. So you need to teach your own children. I think they would just be dumb to have the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan saying, I think you all should unite with one another, come together as entrepreneurs, have a product, create a product, and put young people to work so that we can decrease the violence in our community. I think the white man would be a complete fool to have the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan having us go out with the final call newspaper to our communities with a paper that has peace, that has truth, that has how to eat to live in there, and that exposes the wickedness of them so that we can have a good look at it. And as far as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan hiding knowledge, I don't know what knowledge is being held. I heard a couple of them say that the secret is that the Black man is God, or that we are the real builders. Based on what I heard from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he has been teaching that for decades. Not only that, but he actually has taught on Freemasonry and what it is and what the symbolism mean. And as far as I have heard, they say that when you are a Freemason, you can't expose that type of stuff. So if he exposed it, what is he like? It just didn't make sense to me. So I don't know how he's a Freemason. If he has exposed those things, if he has taught those things, and I don't know how he's working for the government. If every time somebody gets close to him, they try to make those people apologize for being next to him. If I was the white man, I think even from a Black perspective, if I'm using this man, anytime somebody gets close to him, I would love that. Please go to the nation. Please get close to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I would love for y'all to get next to him. I would love for y'all to meet with him because he's going to trick y'all. He's going to get y'all in our secret society. He's going to trick y'all into the Illuminati. So I'm just confused, man, when they say stuff like that. So I don't really understand that stuff.
I hear you, brother. Let's take one last question. Let's take one last question. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see.
He said, Brother Ben did not give his thoughts on Farrakhan being a Freemason. Well, if you caught the answer is he's not one.
Okay. All right. Are there any other forms of digital real estate besides ebooks and YouTube?
Yeah, man, digital real estate can be whatever you want. They got something called domain parking, where if I bought a website, if I bought a domain and you wanted that domain, you would have to buy it from me and I could sell it to you. People are getting paid off of YouTube. We had some students. Dang, I wish I was coming in from another thing. I would show y'all. You mind if I show on my screen?
Yeah. I gotta do something on my end.
Because I know people still don't believe it. So I'm gonna show y'all my screen real quick.
All right, go ahead, brother.
All right. Let me show y'all what some students did. This is men's viewpoint. Y'all probably even seen it on y'all Instagram, on y'all Facebook. You can see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right, so y'all can see that this is real. Going into the page, I'm, a manager on this page. Now it's been blocked since then, so that's why you don't see them, because it's actually been demonetized since then, for like 90 days for some crazy stuff. But let's go to August. I think it was in April. Let's check out and see. Now you see this is from the 1st of April to the end of April.
Mm.
Look how much money came in that 1 month. 67,000. So you can do, and guess what? They didn't even have to make their own videos. They got the videos off YouTube, edit them like I showed them how to edit them, and just posted them. And they don't have no computer like me or like you probably have. They did it all from their cell phone. So we talk about group economics. You come in with your 10, you get your 10, you bring your 10. We're gonna all going on a multi-property, but it ain't even cash flowing enough for you to really survive. So you got to try to do that 4-5 times to have some good money coming in. Because again, you're getting about $250 a dough. So you probably finna cash flow $300, but you don't put 10,000 up. But imagine if y'all learn group economics through the digital real estate and y'all come in with a niche. I'm gonna do videos on this. You do videos on the we're gonna do a sports page. I'm finna give y'all some game. We're gonna do a sports page. I'm gonna do boxing. I'm gonna do basketball. I'm gonna do football. I'm gonna do this. Because right now during COVID-19, everybody want to watch sport. They at home, they bored. So the increase in watch time is going up. So if we all came together in group economics, not borrowing from the bank, not going into debt, but you just putting in your time, so you can start making 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, and y'all split that, and you will have more cash flow with that digital real estate versus the physical real estate. And again, this is not to say don't get physical real estate. I'm just saying that the cash flow is a little bit better.
Wow, man. Well, once again, my brother, I want to thank you for coming on, man. I think this is your third time on here, man. I want to get you on here more often, my brother. But once again, leave your contact info before we get out of here.
Man, follow me on Instagram at Brother Ben X, Facebook, Brother Ben X, my podcast, Brother Ben X Podcast. And just follow me everywhere, man, Brother Ben X, and you can find out my financial programs. Go to brotherbenlinks.com, www.brotherbenlinks.com. And for the brother who said that he saw some pictures, I mean, just because you see a picture doesn't mean that he's a part of an organization. He was honored. So in fact, it's not even nothing that's in secret. It was written in the Final Call newspaper. The reason you even seen it and know about it is because it was written and published by the Final Call. So you can go to Google and type in Farrakhan Freemasons and type in Final Call, and you will see exactly what happened that day and what was going on.
Family, once again, this is Brother Ben X with Brother Rich on Black Magic 363. I want to thank everybody in the chat room for joining us today. We getting out of here, family. Peace.
Peace.